Okay guys, welcome. Today, you're not going to believe this, but Master Mode actually came out. And with Master Mode, there's so much update stuff. So I'm going to hop into this update and pretty much explain to you everything that's happened. Sorry about the lack of skyblock stuff recently, by the way. And yeah, let's hop into it. But yeah, Master Mode is, to sum it up, is pretty much just a harder version of a floor that gives a lot more XP and a lot more drops. They said that there aren't any new drops, new armor, new weapons so far from what's it called, Master Mode, but they did say yet, so it's possible that there could be some new drops and stuff from Master Mode. So guys, if you didn't know, they also added some quality of life changes in this update. This probably comes as no surprise. Bringing out Master Mode, they'd want to make it a lot better for XP and stuff. So they've also added a feature where, here, let me look at the forum post really quick. Sorry that you can't see for a second. From now on, all current Catacombs floor will grant more Catacombs EXP based on how many times you've previously beaten that floor, up to 150% extra EXP, granted on floors 1 to 5, up to 100% on floor 6, and up to 50% extra on floor 7. This is not applied for Master Mode at this time. They did say at this time, so it's possible they'll implement that later, but I'm not sure. Remove Dungeoneering from skill level average. The quest log now shows fishing in dungeons. Fairy souls you now get 50% of your mana back on death. And you can now click on the forge notification to warp to the Dwarven Mines forge area. And in the Catacombs skill menu, we now show the total damage bonus for each Catacombs level. And then, next of all, they added the Dungeons class balance. So for tank, they've added a new passive ability, Absorb. 80% of the damage players take nearby a tank will be redirected to their tanks. This change increases the usefulness of the tank class by a lot, but requires the tanks to put all their eggs in a beefier basket. On top of that, the seismic wave cooldown is now reduced from 60 seconds to 15. Whoa. So, guys, if you didn't know, I'm going to do a little thing on this. I used to be a tank. I've switched to Berserk, but I used to be a tank. And, yeah, so I'm not a tank anymore. Wait, what the? Okay, there's. Sorry, guys. I thought I just lost my helmet. I'm still recording, right? So, along with Master Mode, they've actually added a lot of quality of life changes. So I'm gonna tab out for a second, and I'm gonna read them all to you. So sit tight. So the things that they've added is remove Dungeoneering from skill level average. The quest log now shows fishing in dungeons fairy souls. You can now get 50% of your mana back on death. And you can now click on the forge notification to warp to the Dwarven Mines forge area. And this is the big one. From now on, all current Catacombs floor will grant more Catacombs EXP based on how many times you've previously beaten that floor. Up to 150% extra EXP granted on floors 1 to 5. Up to 100% on floor 6, and up to 50% extra on floor 7. This is not applied for Master Mode at this time. They did say it at this time, so it's possible that will come in the future. And in the Catacombs skill menu, we now show the total damage bonus for each Catacombs level. So none of that stuff is too crazy, except for the EXP bonus, because that will be pretty crazy. I don't know how it works, if it's like in your boss collection, like here it's going to be like click to view rewards, and it's going to be like plus 25% EXP. I don't really know how that's going to work, but yeah, I'm pretty excited for it. And then the next thing is that they had some dungeon class balance. So tank class changes added a new passive ability, Absorb. 80% of the damage players take nearby a tank will be redirected to their tanks. This change increases the usefulness of the tank class by a lot, but requires the tanks to put all their eggs in a beefier basket. On top of that, the seismic wave cooldown is now reduced from 60 seconds to 15. Okay, so do note that this means the Earth Shard and Super Heavy Armor passives will have a reduced effect on the cooldowns too. Okay, guys, give me a second. if I go to my island, as you know, I used to be a tank. Well, you might know, I don't know. If I go over here, I have an earth shard. This shard automatically adapts to its user inside dungeons, allowing you to perform your class ability, reducing the cooldown of seismic wave by 10 seconds. And I was going to make a video on this. I was going to make a video called like free Midas staff, because all you need is like an earth shard, and you need what's it called, heavy armor, and you could get pretty darn close to doing a seismic wave all the time. Which a seismic wave is pretty much like a Midas staff, except you could do it forever, which would be extremely OP because it kills like everything. You don't have to shoot it twice. It will kill everything. Okay, so if this is actually 15, and the earth shard will still work. I also have heavy right here. I think it needs to be super heavy, but if this is actually working how I'm thinking it might, we might actually be in for like some crazy tank setups. Also, look at the sign. Look at the sign. Okay, now if we focus a little bit more on the healer class, I know that I was just talking about the tank class and stuff, but if we go to the healer class, healers are now able to click any of their teammates to apply a tether between them. As long as they remain in range of their tethered teammate, they will heal them for 0.5% of the healer's HP every second. And every 5 melee hits on enemy mobs will heal them both for an extra 1% of their max health. Sorry about that noise. Healers also have a new passive ability that drops power orbs on the floor. For every enemy the healers participate in killing, there is a low chance a special orb drops on the floor. It says there are 3 types of orbs, which I would think they're Radiant, Mana Flux, Overflux, but I don't know how that would work because they do have the Plasma Flux, so it might be completely new orbs. It can be picked up by any teammate for a quick heal for 30% of their maximum health, as well as a short damage or defense buff. That's actually pretty nice. So for Berserker, the Bloodlust passive of Berserkers now has an extra effect. For every hit the Berserker lands on an enemy, subsequent hits will be stronger, making Berserkers much better at taking down single target enemies. So then now if we go to the balance changes, sorry guys, I did just realize that I wasn't recording my forums. I'm still going to do the clips where I wasn't, but I'm going to show you guys the forums now. So, of course, the dungeon weapons Bone Meringue was decreased to 270 from 320. Last Breath, base damage to 200, plus 50 crit damage. Last Breath, 10% of defense per hit, up to 50% reduction max. Mosquito Bow, base strength increased to 151 from 101, base crit damage increased to 39 from 9. And this is where it's actually kind of exciting. So Valkyrie, base strength increased to 145 from 120. Estrella, base damage increased to 270 from 260. Estrella base defense increased to 250 from 210. Estrella an additional 20 true defense. Oh my gosh. Estrella an additional 1 extra defense per catacombs level has been added. Scylla base damage increased to 270 from 260. Hyperion intelligence decreased to 350 from 400. Hyperion changed to gain 1 damage per catacombs level. It was granting 2 due to a bug. Wither Impact now correctly grants combat EXP, finally. And Wither Impact / Implosion radius decreased to 6 blocks from 10. Okay, so from what I've seen so far, I'm not joking when I say this. I think this is Zach Plays AN's like favorite day. I think that tank is actually gonna be meta, because they're making Estrella cracked. 20 true defense is insane. 250 defense is 40 defense. It's not that crazy, but they're really buffing a lot of things, and I'm actually really excited about this. Tank might be better than Berserker now, and that's crazy. They also nerfed the Hyperion, which probably expected. Mage is way too overpowered, so I'm pretty fine about that. And then other equipment changes: Midas Staff, base damage decreased to 0 coins. So the Midas Staff, I don't know. It's too much math for me. Soul Whip now changed to deal 50% of its damage on the fourth subsequent mob that it hits, and that the damage is then halved for every subsequent mob it hit. Dark Goggles / Shadow Goggles / Wither Goggles. The ability damage will now be additive instead of multiplicative. In general, this will provide a decreased damage output. Sorry, not sorry. Reaper Mask, Wither Relic, Silk Edge, Frozen Blaze. Rarity increased from Epic to Legendary. Tarantula Helmet, radioactive, can no longer exceed 1000 strength and 100 crit damage. So they're really nerfing Archer and Mage in this update. Tarantula Helmet used to be, I'm pretty sure Tarantula Helmet was for Archer. You would switch to the Flower of Truth after you would go, because it would get you like a whole bunch more crit damage. So they're definitely like making this a lot different, and definitely good for the game, I guess. I don't think they're completely nerfing it to the ground. I do think the Archer might have a hard time, but Mage is still going to be okay, I think. Skeleton Pet, Skeletal Defense, third perk changed to a 5-second cooldown, was 15. Skeleton Pet damage dealt increased by half. Okay, that's cool. Okay. Tiger Pet base ferocity increased to 0.25 per level, max 25 from 10. Merciless Swipe nerfed to 50% more ferocity from 100% at legendary epic will be decreased to 15% for a common, 33% for an uncommon / rare. Lion Pet an additional 5. Oh! So Lion Pet has always been a pet that was for first strike, and Tiger has been for ferocity. Lion Pet's actually getting some ferocity. That's pretty cool. First pounce changed to increase the effectiveness of first strikes. Oh! That's actually kind of cool. Because if you... First pounce would make it so that you deal like 20% more damage on your first hit. But now it's doing the effect... it's increasing the effectiveness of first strike / triple strike. That's pretty cool. And Lion Pet King of the Jungle changed to gain 15% more damage to mobs who have attacked you. Okay, so the Lion Pet just got a gigantic... what's it called? It just became a lot better than it used to be. That's what I'm going to say. Spirit Pet will work even when the pet isn't selected. The Spirit Leap perk is now changed to Half-Life, which reduces the score's penalty on the first death every dungeon run. So they're doing like another passive pet like the Grandma Wolf. That's pretty interesting. Boss changes. Currently, most bosses in the game have a damage soft cap, meaning that after X damage, players only deal 10% of the remaining damage. You're changing this mechanic on a few bosses. Arachne, Magma Boss, Dragons, Endstone Protector, Headless Horseman. This is much too much, way too much math for me, but you can look at that if you want. You can screenshot or just pause the video if you want. Way more math. You can screenshot that if you want. And here we go. Catacombs change. All the floors will now have their own requirements for entering based on Catacombs level. On top of that, mob loots from each floor will require their respective Catacombs level. Boss loot requirements unchanged. So, yes, I saw that actually. So you have to have a specific, you have to have beat like entrance to go to floor 1 and stuff. So that's pretty cool. That makes a lot of sense. That's actually, I like that update because some people got carried just immediately, and that'll definitely force 30 rares to have to do a little bit more. General changes in bug fixes, lifesteal, siphon. Oh wait. Oh, lifesteal now heals 0.5% of maximum health per hit per level, instead of being based on damage. Siphon now heals 0.2% of your maximum health per hit per 100 critical damage, and an additional 0.1% per tier. Example of 5 Siphon 3 and 500 crit damage, I'll heal 0.4% per 100, so 2% of my maximum health per hit. Okay, so Siphon, the lifesteal might be better now. Ferocity hits will no longer trigger lifesteal / Siphon, that makes sense. That's a bit of a nerf to Ferocity again, though. All Slayer bosses and mini-bosses damages have been decreased. Oh, that's great. All mobs during the Diana event have been decreased. A few fishing bosses have been decreased. Okay, all that's pretty cool. Mana above maximum mana will be removed. Ooh, interesting. So, you aren't going to be able to do crystal armor, right? you're not going to be able to do crystal armor switching for dragons. I'm interested to see how the meta does. Lesser orb of healing will now work on dungeons, removing some AFK methods only on public islands. Note, we said some, not all. No riding, please. Okay. So most of this is just pretty regular bug fixes. So yeah, all that's pretty cool. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get back to the game now. Okay guys, so you just heard me talk all about the update stuff, and all of it seems pretty cool. It's a pretty good all-around update. I'm really excited for what's gonna come. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a like and subscribe. It is greatly appreciated. If you like my skin, say yes. Say yes in the chat. I did use a new editing software actually for this video. So tell me if you liked that. And sorry I haven't been uploading too much Skyblock recently. And I will see ya.